All right, in today's explainer, we are breaking down a really critical choice that pretty much every business is facing as they adopt AI. We're going to look at an analysis that compares two totally different ways of thinking about it. Do you build it yourself inside a giant ecosystem, or do you find a specialist to build something that's a perfect custom fit? And listen, this is about way more than just features. It's about philosophy.
You know, the big question for so many companies right now isn't if they should be using AI. That ship has sailed. The real question is how. How do you actually get it done? Do you roll up your sleeves with some powerful tools, or do you bring in an expert to build something from scratch that's unique to you?
And this really is the fork in the road. It represents two completely distinct philosophies for bringing AI into your operations. One path is all about empowerment and do-it-yourself, while the other is all about specialization and a tailor-made partnership. So, let's head down that first path. What does it actually look like? Well, the analysis calls this the ecosystem approach, and the prime example they use is Microsoft Copilot Studio.
Okay, so what does that really mean in plain English? It's all about empowering your own people, the ones who already know your business inside and out, to build their own AI solutions. The absolute key here is that you're using tools that are already baked right into a platform that, let's be honest, a ton of businesses are already using every single day.
The whole value proposition here really boils down to one word: leverage. You're leveraging the investment you've already made in Microsoft, and that means you can get things built and deployed super fast, all inside a secure environment you already know and hopefully trust.
Okay, let's back up and walk down that other fork in the road. This is the custom partner approach. And to illustrate this philosophy, the analysis points to a company called raiaAI.
This way of thinking is way less about do-it-yourself and much more about a full-service partnership. The whole idea is that you work with a dedicated team to create a completely bespoke solution that fits your unique way of doing things like a glove, instead of trying to cram your workflow into a tool that already exists.
And what's really compelling here is that its strengths are almost the total opposite of the ecosystem model. We're talking about freedom from being locked into one vendor, real deep expertise in specific industries like, say, healthcare, and a predictable cost that makes budgeting way easier.
So with those two big ideas clear, let's put them side by side. Let's get into the nitty-gritty and see how they really stack up on some of the practical differences you'd actually have to deal with.
Okay, first big difference. How long does this take? On one side, you have this super fast, self-service setup where you could be up and running in just hours. On the other, a more involved, guided process that takes several weeks but gives you that deeply customized result. It's really a classic trade-off: speed versus specificity.
And this right here gets to the heart of the trade-off in support. Are you the type of organization that wants to be self-reliant, where your team learns by doing, digging through docs and forums? Or do you need a true partner with dedicated experts basically on call to walk you through the whole thing?
The pricing models could not be more different, and this forces a huge strategic choice. Do you want to pay only for what you use, which, let's be real, could go up and down like crazy? Or would you rather pay a predictable, flat fee for the whole shebang, which makes planning your budget a whole lot simpler?
So what does that pay-as-you-go pricing actually look like? For Microsoft, the analysis shows a starting point around $200 a month, and that gets you about 25,000 messages. But the key thing to remember is that this cost is going to fluctuate with your usage, and it's on top of whatever you're already paying for Microsoft 365. It's a pure consumption model.
Now, on the flip side, the predictable model from raiaAI starts at a higher number, around $1,000 a month, but the philosophy is totally different. This is an all-inclusive fee. It covers the custom build, the support, the platform, and it doesn't matter how many messages you're handling. You know exactly what your bill is going to be. No surprises.
But wait, all that speed and accessibility from an out-of-the-box builder sounds pretty great, right? So what's the catch? Well, according to the analysis, a tool like Copilot Studio does come with some pretty important limitations you need to know about.
The crucial point here is all about control. With this approach, the agent won't remember a user from one chat to the next. It's like starting a new conversation every single time. It can't automatically learn from feedback. You have less say over the underlying AI models. And, by design, you are tied at the hip to the Microsoft ecosystem.
And this table just lays it all out crystal clear. You can really see that strategic divide. For platform dependency, you've got agnostic versus totally locked in. For the development model, it's custom versus self-service. every single road just highlights a fundamental choice between these two opposing philosophies. So, after looking at all that, we get to the most important question. How on earth do you choose the right path for your organization? Thankfully, the source gives us a pretty clear way to think about it.
Okay, so the ecosystem path is pretty much a no-brainer if your company is already deep in the Microsoft world. If you've got internal teams that are eager to get their hands dirty and build things, and your main goal is just to quickly automate conversations inside the software you already use, this is probably your lane.
But, on the other hand, the custom partner path makes a lot more sense for businesses that have really specific industry needs. Think about something like HIPAA compliance in healthcare. Or maybe you have a complicated tech setup with lots of different vendors. This is for those who really value having a dedicated team to guide them and who absolutely want that predictable budget.
At the end of the day, it's not about which platform is better in some abstract way. It's all about which philosophy fits your company's specific situation. What technology are you using? How do you like to build things? What industry are you in? The right answer is going to be totally unique to you.
And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating final question about what's next. As AI becomes the absolute core of business, is the future going to be dominated by these massive, integrated, walled gardens built by the tech giants? Or will we see a thriving, diverse world of independent, specialized partners? It's a huge question about the future of technology itself, and honestly, the answer is still being written.